Hi, welcome to the Vaguely Anime Podcast. I am one of the hosts this evening, Michael, followed by host Sage.
Yeah, that's me.
And host Kat.
Yep.
Realistically, I should probably do it the other way. But
Doesn't
You
matter.
always do it like this, so it's fine.
well, yeah, because I used to sit over there.
Just used
I guess
to
that's
it.
fair. It's fine.
Anyway, hey, welcome to our anime club.
Yeah.
Where we're talking about Jujutsu Kaisen, and that was Sage's pick. So
It sure was.
go ahead, Sage. Give a brief overview of.
Okay, so I'm going to give the brief overview that I gave Mark because he came into watching it like 15 episodes into me watching it.
That's way too far.
And he was like, just give me like a 2-sentence.
Give me the footnotes.
Yeah, give me like a 2-sentence synopsis of the show. And I was like, they have what is essentially magic and they're fighting guys who are evil that have similar magic / monsters. And he was like, all right, got it.
I guess you're not.
That's
wrong.
like the bare bones of it.
Yeah, I guess.
But no, it's about this kid who like eats a demon piece, and then it's like inhabited in him, and he's going to school to learn how to be good at doing that. Yeah.
Great overview.
Sorry.
Great
No,
job.
I just think it's a very like it's just very like I think it's a really well done shonen, especially in like I feel like currently shonens are just popping off left and right.
They are. They finally realized
They've
that
been
they need
real-
some depth.
They've been hitting their strides so much with I think in like the last 5 years, and it's just I think this is one of the better ones that we've been seeing in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think like the concept is done very well. I think the art style is really lends to like the direction they're going in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Cool.
yeah.
Kat.
So we're just giving feelings.
Yeah, just
with
Yeah.
general.
spoilers.
It doesn't have to be that long, but
Okay. I like this show. I started this a while ago. I don't even know when I started
Well,
it.
we picked a show Kat likes.
Yes.
it's
But
unheard of.
does it count if I was already watching?
Yes, because
the
I didn't
show?
know you were already watching it.
I guess. But yeah, I think I started it like
Let me see if it marked when you were watching it.
6 months or more ago.
Oh, that's a
And-
while ago then.
Yeah, and it was a show that sits with my like 40 shows
God damn it.
that I just didn't finish. It was like halfway. So it was good that I got that like push I needed
to actually get
Yeah.
through it. Yeah.
and
That's why I chose it because I was like, I want to watch this show, but I know myself well enough to know I'll just let it sit for like 5 fucking
because
years.
there's a lot of shit like Shield Hero. I started that like 2 years ago. Like I have no business having that still on the list and not because especially I think I'm missing like 5 episodes. Like it's
so you're
something
like
really
so
not
close
on-
to the end, but you're like, yeah, whatever.
I was like, I'll get back to it. But no, I do really like this show. I think they did a really good job. There's a lot of good characters in it. They all have good character development. I like the comedy in it with like
I think the comedy is
faces
really
and stuff and how it's drawn. Yeah. I also think they have a good soundtrack.
The first OP and ED especially.
So
Yeah.
good.
The second one's not as good, but it's
I
not
don't.
bad.
I don't.
I
think the
actually
second
I
one's as
like
good
the
either.
visuals of the second one. I just
Yeah.
don't like the song as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, that's my general.
Yeah, I'm pretty much on the same boat. I think it's great comedically. I think some of the the action is some of the best action that we've had gotten in a while.
It's very creative action too. It doesn't nothing feels stale.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
And some of my favorite like easy quote unquote easy comedy is the way that like they draw people in simplistic ways
Yeah.
of just like deadpan face and stuff. Like I think that's some of like my favorite comedy for how like simple it is. And then there are just some fucking genius one-liners at one point of just like comedy that's like it's there and then it's gone.
Like blink and you'll miss it, fly by you ones.
And overall, I think it's like there's a reason people hype this show up,
Yeah.
and I think it's deserved. It's just a really solid like one season. I mean, there's more. There's gonna be more than one season, but like a really solid like one
Opening
season show.
season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have barely started the manga.
Same.
but 2 of our friends are like caught up, and
Colin's like in the depths
Colin
of
and
it, right?
Colin and Amer are both caught up, and both of them are like, it's still absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
So
I feel like it would. I feel like they would have to like take a pretty steep nosedive to not like be able to build off of like what they have set up now. If that makes sense.
Demon Slayer and Promised Neverland both nosedived. So.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, and the manga apparently.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was
Oh.
like, Demon Slayer didn't nosedive.
No, Demon Slayer is.
I
I think, from what I heard, Demon Slayer is fine until like the last arc.
Oh,
And,
rip.
and Promised Neverland was like steadily getting worse, and
Right.
then really nosedived at the last arc.
Oh, that stinks.
And I think Demon Slayer released another chapter to like fix the ending, and people liked that better.
Oh, so the manga's already over.
Yeah, the manga and for Demon Slayer and Promised Neverland are both done.
I didn't know that the manga for Demon Slayer was already done. I knew
Yep.
Promised Neverland
Yeah,
was.
no, the guy was like, I had my story, I wrote it, I'm done. So-
I feel like that's actually impressive for like modern day shonen, where like stories I feel like go on literally forever.
My Hero's also that. Technically, My Hero was already supposed to be over.
Isn't
Right.
it ending this time?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's
it was
ending on
supposed
this
to be
current arc, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was supposed to be over with the arc that is, if I'm remembering correctly, the arc that is currently airing on.
Oh, yeah.
So like the
current-
season
yeah,
6 arc.
Yeah, that was supposed to be the original ending, and then they were like, "You got anything else?" And he was like, "If I can think of something good, sure."
Right.
And then he was like, "I think I can get a few arcs."
I feel like that's the good thing about this is more general than just like Jujutsu Kaisen of modern shonen is they are not stretching things out to such extreme lengths that it's like absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, plus a lot of mangakas at this point are going in with their set plan.
Yeah.
And I feel like, well, that's not to say, because there are plenty of shows, because I know Colin is way more into the manga scene than I am, and he reads a lot of Shonen Jump, and he's constantly like, fucking, this incredible manga got canceled, I'm so bummed. So obviously some stuff still doesn't make it, but
yeah, I mean, there's so much that gets put out, like it's impossible.
But it seems like a lot of people are having much more stronger like layouts than they used to.
Yeah.
Then so that a lot of it stays consistent, and I think also the fact that anime takes seasonal breaks now is helping a lot. I feel like that's definitely a lot less pressure on the mangaka too.
And I think with the seasonal breaks, then you don't have to have like the whole season long arc of filler.
Yeah.
You can stick strictly to like the canon content.
Yeah, and so like My Hero's ending with this current arc. It's gonna be ending pretty fucking soon, actually.
Oh, damn.
It's going off. Shit's wild. And people are like guessing if he's gonna do like, you know, instead of like My Hero Academia, it's just gonna be like My Hero like Academy or not Academy, like Agency or something, and like he's gonna like time jump like Naruto Shippuden.
Oh,
or
like
something.
keep it going.
But it's not very based in any reality. Nobody really knows.
Oh,
I'd be interested, but if he ended it, I'd also be fine with that. Anyway, that's not about Jujutsu Kaisen.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
I really like it. I think it's really good, and apparently the manga is also very good. So we're gonna have a very good next season. And from what I've read of the arc for the next season, it will be fucking great. Especially if the animation quality keeps up. Because
yeah, the animation quality
beautiful.
is like I
Top
feel like
tier.
it's so good for a show. 24 episodes, and I feel like there's no episode where you feel like, oh, this is where like they were like cutting for the budget kind of thing. Like,
Yeah,
they were
Mappa.
scrapping.
I hate that Mappa is doing everything, yet they're so fucking good at it.
Yeah.
Like they shouldn't be.
Yeah,
and I feel so bad for every animator that works for them.
But they're just doing so good that it's a cycle thing where they're like, okay, we're gonna put out like X amount, it's all fantastic. We can do even more.
They're at like fucking like 30 shows. Like it's not actually, but it's
I know, but
insane.
it's something that like the caliber of shows that they're putting out each year is just so ridiculous.
It's like it's absurd,
And
dude.
the thing is like none of it is bad. None of it looks bad. Like I could understand if it was like Jujutsu Kaisen is the one show where they're like, okay, we'll put all our money towards this, and these other 15 shows will just like half-ass it, right? No, they're not even doing that. It's
Which
like,
are other shows that they do?
They from 2020 to 2023, they have 15 shows.
That's absurd.
They have Jujutsu Kaisen, Attack on Titan's final season, Attack on Titan's final season part 2. They have Zombieland Saga, which people loved. They have Chainsaw Man. They're taking up Vinland Saga season 2.
Yeah, they're doing
Wow.
Chainsaw Man.
They're doing like
Who did season 1 of Vinland Saga?
that was
That show's old, right?
Vinland Saga?
Not
No.
really.
Oh, I thought it was.
The first season of Vinland Saga came out in like 2020ish.
2020, 2019.
I
It
don't know
was.
why I thought it was an
It was.
old show.
It was Wit.
Oh,
The
okay.
same thing where Wit was doing Attack on Titan and dropped. They were
Right.
doing Vinland Saga and dropped, and Mappa was like, "We'll just take up both of these."
Were they just like, we don't have the budget to maintain this?
I don't know what Wit's doing, because they put
Keep
out,
taking
like,
on major properties and then dropping them.
Yeah, I really don't know what's.
Oh.
What,
Escape.
yeah, the cat.
Aw.
I don't know what they're doing, but I don't fucking know. Like it's wild. They keep
Gotcha.
taking up these shows and doing incredible
She's
work and then
just
being like,
throwing
"I'm good."
herself at
She
the
does that.
door.
She'll just she's like attacking her tail at the top of the.
Oh.
Oh, because she sits right on the top step.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. For people that can't hear, my cat is currently just hitting the door that she's behind. She will sit on the top of the stairs and then just chase her tail, so it just sounds like she's hitting the door. They did The God of High School. For 2020, they did more than what I was reading. It was 2020 to 2021. They did Dorohedoro. They've done a fuck ton
That
of shit.
was full CG too, right?
Yeah,
That also looked good.
Yeah, they did Dororo. They've done a fuck ton of shit. Like, it's insane.
Yeah.
Because basically they've done more shows in 2 years than their company did in the first 4 that they existed.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Because management switched.
Mhm.
I think I've said this before
Yeah.
a couple times, but yeah, the original guy that made it was like, "We're gonna not overwork our animators," and then he was like, "All right, I'm gonna leave," and then a new guy stepped up and was like, "All right, we're gonna take on
Pump
20
it out.
shows." So yeah, and yet they've done incredible shit. They did Yuri on Ice. Like, they've just done a fuck ton of really good shit.
Yeah.
And I feel so bad for all of them. They
I
did
feel
Banana
like-
Fish.
And it's crazy because like I feel like they could so easily just not work so hard. You know what I mean? Like they could like slack off on a couple of shows and they don't. That's
Well, yeah,
what's, like,
they
extra insane.
outsource so much.
Yeah.
It's but
Did
anyway.
you watch Banana? Oh yeah, we watched.
Yeah, we watched
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Did I watch Banana Fish? No.
I faked
I
it.
lied the entire
incredible.
time.
I forgot we did that for Anime Club.
But yeah, so and they they did the Jujutsu Kaisen movie, obviously.
Yeah.
So
Which also that looked incredible.
yeah, as a base, like, just non-spoiler for the movie, incredible movie,
Yeah.
absolutely
But
great.
I would actually this is also non-spoiler for the movie, but the like landscape and like just the scenery scenes where it's just like like a panning shot or whatever are so crisp.
It's the same in Chainsaw Man. It has no reason to go as hard as it does.
Like the colors are just so vibrant, so deep. Like there's so much, and they just look so fucking good. Where I'm like, it does not need to look this good. Like you could just slap anything on there, and it would be fine for like a panning shot of like
Right.
a landscape, and you'd be like, yeah, that's a landscape.
It's funny because like I watched the show when it originally came out, so in 2020,
Right.
/ 2021, and
Wow,
then
I think this is the most on trend I've ever been. I'm only
Yeah.
a year late.
yeah.
I was like, no,
And then I watched the movie when that came out, which was in
Actually, no, I watched Banana Fish as it was airing.
okay, so in
There you go.
2021. But I forgot how much they mentioned the character in the movie.
Yeah.
Like just generically, I forgot how much they bring up that kid. I thought they brought him up like once. they bring up the guy in the movie so often.
Can we go into spoilers?
Yeah, we can go in spoilers. So, hey, from here on, spoilers for Jujutsu Kaisen. Again, if you didn't watch the movie, we're going to hold off on any thoughts on that till basically the end. So you're good. And then, obviously we'll let you know when we're going into the movie talk. So, yeah.
Toto is the best character, hands down. I'm literally obsessed with him.
Toto and Boogie Woogie is some of the greatest shit on the planet.
When he was first introduced and he's like, I just love that his like running gag is him being like, I don't have time for this fight. My favorite idol is on TV at this time and I need to be done with this fight to go watch it. And in one of them where they're like, why don't you just record it? He's like, of course I
gonna be
record it,
watching
but
it
I want
and
to
record
watch
it,
it
yeah.
live. It's so good.
And then because those after credits things too,
Yeah.
where it cuts to the one and it's the girl that his like idol and she's absolutely being a piece of shit. Oh my God. And then they're like, "Are you fucking drunk?" And it cuts to him and she's like, "She's absolutely drunk. That's my girl." You're like, "All right."
And then like when he and Itadori first meet and he's like, what's your ideal woman? And he's like, oh, I guess like a tall girl with a nice big ass. He's like, I knew we were destined to be friends. And then it's that like dream sequence of them being
Yeah.
friends in high school. It's so
But
good.
also the fact that they literally say Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
Like, was not expecting that. I was like, wait,
I know
what?
it feels like such a weird reference. Yeah. I was just like, okay.
Is she tall?
Yeah, she's like
I'll look it
5'10",
up.
I think.
I also don't find her that attractive.
But I also don't think she has a particularly big
That's
ass.
what I thought too. And I was like,
But maybe
Jennifer
for like
Lawrence?
Japanese standards, she has a big ass.
Yeah,
By
maybe.
Japanese standards, most Westerners have much
Big
bigger
asses.
proportions. Yeah. She is. Let's see.
It was like a thing during the Hunger Games because she's so much taller than Josh Hutcherson,
Oh.
and they were trying to make him look taller.
I
Because
didn't know
I think he's only
that.
like 5'7".
She's 5'9".
Okay, I was pretty
Oh,
close.
so she's tall.
Yeah. But yeah, every time he's on screen, I'm just like, I love him so much. I think
I
he's
really
so
didn't
funny.
Like him. I thought the gags with like the idol were good, but for the most part, I didn't like him that much until he had that shift with Yuji being like
Right.
my
Like
brother, like that.
Bro.
Yeah. Like when he had the whole dream sequence of them
Right.
being, best friends and him confessing and all of that, like that shifted it for me. But I mean, that's pretty late in the show.
That's true. But I mean,
So-
I liked him even before.
But
Like,
he's also not in it much until then anyway.
guess.
yeah,
so.
because we only get that introduction with him fighting
And then you get 2 after credits scenes.
with him.
Yeah, and then
before the meeting.
Yeah, basically. And then you get that one scene where they're like, "Hey, we gotta kill Yuji," and he's like, "Fuck you guys, I'm out of here."
Yeah.
I have a separate question from that, but it just made me think of it. So there's 2 characters that are voiced by the same person.
The twins.
No, and I don't know if it's supposed to be that they're like, I don't know if I just missed something, I looked away, or if they're just separate and they just had one person voice the same thing. The like robot wood-looking guy,
Right.
and then the other one, I think he's like a teacher or something. They're not connected, right? That robot guy
The
in
guy
the
with
tub.
the glasses. That
There's
teacher.
a lot of
Yeah,
guys
which
with
teacher?
glasses.
Yeah, wait.
If you look up the voices, I can show you which one it is. Because he voices Zhongli in Genshin Impact, so I always pick up on his voice. And he
Oh, that's
didn't
interesting.
voice them too differently. So I was like, is this...
I feel
You're
like I
supposed to
didn't
get
pick up
that?
on like them having the same. I obviously don't know this voice actor, but like I
Yeah.
feel like I didn't pick up on them sounding so similar that I thought they were interconnected in some
Because
way.
since the guy was bandaged in the tub, I was like, is this him? And then I was...
Okay, when it was that scene
Uh-huh.
of him like explaining it, all I could think of is that scene in SpongeBob where he's like, "I was born with glass bones." And
No,
paper."
people have made that
I
like
literally
joke, being like, "I
was-
wake up every day."
I break my arms
Yeah.
and I break.
Literally,
I could
people
not
talk
help
about
myself. I was
that.
like, I'm sure that you're living
You're
through
the
like a
voice actor.
horrible
I'm looking up the
plight.
voice actor.
But that's.
Huh?
I'm looking up the voice actor.
But it was really
I can
funny.
just show you if you just...
Well, yeah. All right, hold on.
You're
I'm
doing
looking
great.
it up, but
Who is your best girl?
I like most of them. I feel like nobody stands out too much, like ahead of the others, but I like Maki.
Oh, did you say Maki too?
yeah.
Oh, I like
Who?
Miwa. I think
Maki
she's
and
so
Miwa.
She's the one with the
cute.
bangs, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
the
I
blue
like her
bangs.
too,
Yes.
I liked her
Useless
useless
Miwa
Miwa.
here.
Yeah.
that I was gonna say that's one of my favorite jokes is like just her singing herself to herself real quick where
Yeah.
she's like, "I don't have my sword, it was stolen from me," and then her phone rings, just, "Hi, useless Miwa here." Sleep. Boof. And it's like, love it.
I
She's
also-
fucking
I
hilarious.
think is it the first time we see her when
When she goes running after
Gojo?
Gojo to go get
Yes.
his autograph, and then she
This-
runs back in, and he's like, "My tea," and she's like, "Fuck."
Yeah, I really like her. I'm kind of hoping we get more of her in season 2. I think she's really fun and like I think she's very cute. She's my best girl right now. I also like Momo, even though we only get like 3 seconds of her really.
Yes, I know what you're talking
The
about.
which one?
Yeah, with the blonde hair and the pigtails.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think she's really cute too.
Sorry, I'm just pulling this up.
Oh,
Oh,
this
you're
guy.
fine.
Okay. No, I don't think.
Wait, who else
I know
did he
it's
voice?
the principal and the robot.
Oh. No, I don't.
That's
I
not the
don't think-
principal.
Yeah, it
is.
is.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
That's the
Oh.
Tokyo principal.
Oh.
The Kyoto one is that really old guy.
Okay, that makes way more sense.
Yeah.
No, I don't think there's any connection.
Okay, because it was really throwing me off because he's the one who made Panda, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So they were doing that scene while one of his characters was explaining, saying, you know, that he made Panda and is explaining that. And then the other one's like, I hate cursed, like, corpses
I have
and
glass
whatever.
bones in my body.
Yeah, but they're talking at the same time and he didn't voice them that differently. And I'm like, are they the
same person?
I was just like, is he testing him? Because he's like, I made you.
Right.
And so he
No,
doesn't
yeah,
know.
I don't think they're...
Okay, I just needed to clear that up because I was like, did I miss something?
No.
Because why would they make them voice the same person? Because like the same thing with Maki and Miwa.
Oh.
They're voiced by the same person, but they sound totally
Very
different.
different.
Exactly. Totally fine. They had a fight together. You'd never know it's the same person. I happen to know because I was looking this up that I
Right.
saw that they were the same person. So this, they're not
Threw you
voiced
for
way
a loop.
differently. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And they both had
It's funny
like
'cause
brown hair.
I
and
didn't
I was
even...
like...
I didn't
pick up on that
yeah,
either, but
not at all.
I'm very good at picking up on voice actors and
I mean,
stuff
usually
like that.
same.
I'm only good at
I
it
also
if
But
I,
I
already know the
I
voice
listen to
actors.
Zhang Li, who he plays, similar voice all fucking day while I'm playing Genshin
Right.
because he's
So it's
my
just, like,
shoulder. He's on
ingrained with you?
Yeah, I've been playing this for 2 years. Zhang Li is embedded in my head, and
Right.
so when I hear even the little bit, I'm just like, wait, but they're the same person. And then I looked it up. I'm like, am I crazy? And then, but it said they were 2 different characters. So I was like, okay, so they're not the same person.
Yeah,
but
no, I
wanted to
don't
check.
think they're attached
All
at
right.
all. I could be wrong, but I don't think they are.
I don't think so either.
I will
'cause they were
say
2 people.
one of my other best boys is Nanami. Nanami is fucking great.
I don't see the appeal. I know he has lots of simps.
Nanami is awesome.
Which one is Nanami?
He's the one that's like
he has the paddle.
he's the one that's like he's the office
the
worker.
blonde.
He's the like 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't want to work any overtime. And then he's like, fuck it, you're going to make me do it. He just like fucking wrecks. Oh, Nanami is awesome. I love Nanami.
I like his character design. I don't know if I like him so
He
much
didn't-
as a character
He
right
didn't
now.
do anything
yeah.
for me.
Oh, I like that he is absolutely a 9 to 5 office worker, but in this fucking absurd shit.
Yeah.
And he's just so matter of fact about it. Like, I love that.
Also, I would just like to say I feel
Gojo's also incredible.
I feel very much scammed by the first OP because when they introduced Junpei, I kept being like, all right, he's going to join the squad. Like, he's going to realize that being evil is wrong. And then they just pull the rug underneath your feet. Like, now that bitch is dead.
And I was like, oh, they're gonna do it. Like
We're
they're gonna save him. Like
We're
he's
getting
gonna
there.
yeah.
He's gonna get saved. Like he's gonna get
I was
healed.
like,
He's
yep.
gonna go back to being a human. He's gonna be BFFs with Ichidori. No,
And
absolutely
then he's like,
not.
oh, he's already dead. And I'm like, what? What do you mean?
Because they show that at the end every single time of the first OP. I'm like, this is obviously an important relationship we're gonna get here, right? Like thinking like they're gonna be BFFs, and then no.
No, the important part of the relationship is that he dies. And he realizes he can't
But
save
still,
everybody.
I was so upset.
Yeah.
And also when Yuji first dies, a part of me was like, I know he's not gonna die, right? Like he's the fucking main character of the show. But then I was like, but also how fucking excellent would that be? You
If they
spend like
actually did
5
that.
episodes being like, here's your main character, he dies, and then we focus on like Negumi instead for the rest of the show. Like I kept thinking that was gonna happen as well because I was like, that would actually be
it wouldn't be the first time. Like something
right.
would
Like
do
I
that,
know
yeah.
it wouldn't be the first time they would do that, but like I just was like, that would be so fucking smart though, because you just like
You think that this guy's being built up because he's the one vessel.
yeah, because
and-
he's the
Yeah.
vessel, and you're thinking, oh, he's gonna be like, you know, like the best one out of all of them, and then he dies there, and then like you just see like
Turns out Megumin's actually like can destroy it.
yeah, like can destroy, and then like we just see him like take that life experience and like propel himself further even more, and I was like, damn, that would be excellent.
I love the scene when like all of them are kind of like semi crying about Yuji, and then when Gojo does all this fucking bullshit to like present Yuji back to being alive,
and he's like, hey,
and they just don't give a shit.
Yeah. He's like, what kind of face is that? Like you're supposed to be happy.
I
that
thought you
I'm
would be
back.
happy to see me.
Yeah.
It's been like 2 months, guys.
And then it just cuts to like when he's holding the fucking like funeral like frame.
Yes.
He's like, this could be considered bullying.
This is
And they're-
harassment, guys.
and they're like, shut up. This is better than you deserve.
Yeah,
So
I
great.
feel like this. I feel like they balance comedy very well. I feel like in other shonen where they try to have comedy elements, or it's like a little off kilter, or it's like thrown in the wrong places or not delivered correctly.
Yeah.
But I feel like here they do it really, really well.
It's interesting because like I saw Jujutsu Kaisen before I saw Chainsaw Man.
Right.
I read Chainsaw Man, but like I read it basically right after.
After
After
Jujutsu
finished,
Kaisen?
yeah, after I finished the Jujutsu Kaisen, and it was interesting because when I started reading it, Eamon and Colin were already reading Chainsaw Man, and the way that they pitched it was like it's just the like darker side of Jujutsu Kaisen, like
Yeah.
it's just the other side.
Yeah.
You know, it's basically the exact same premise, but just not
More.
as shonen friendly.
More.
Yeah. And it's interesting because then I started seeing people that were like reading Chainsaw Man first and then going to Jujutsu Kaisen, and they had the like flip, which was like, oh, it's just Chainsaw Man but lighter.
Right.
Because they are pretty fucking similar.
Yeah. In concept,
Yeah.
I would agree.
But I feel like you could say that even like My Hero is the same sort of concept of that there's one special thing that they have. So instead they have quirks.
Oh
and,
yeah,
and
but
then
in terms of
like-
like,
bad
but in
versus
terms of
good.
like fighting demons, and then you have a power that's related to the demons, like
More specific concept opposed to like broad
like
stroke
one dude
concept.
summons wolf, another dude also summons wolf.
yeah,
Like it's
both
just like
black hair.
yeah, and like there's just very similar concepts. Like basically it's the exact same core idea, and one just went, I'm gonna make it fucked up, and the other went, I'm gonna make a shonen.
I also really like how Jujutsu Kaisen goes into their villains. Like, I really appreciate the amount of time they spend on the villains, because I feel like sometimes in shonen it's just like fly by and you'll miss it, like villain explanation where it doesn't really matter, they're just the bad guy.
Right.
But yeah, I like how much time we spend with them, especially
Especially like My Hero. Like you spend a lot of time with like All For One technically,
yeah.
but like he's not really a person.
Yeah, he's not like, he doesn't have any like real motive, or like, you know, he's not like
Yeah.
a human.
Which is basically, I guess, why they like bring up other main characters or main villains
Yeah.
to like supplement.
Yeah.
But with this show, it's like every main character or main villain has a character intrinsically,
Yeah.
which is interesting.
Except I feel like the only one that I feel like I want to know more about, and I guess this is like why they have him like shrouded in the shadows kind of thing. I can't remember his name. He's the guy with like the long black hair.
There's two with long black hair,
The-
but I think you mean the one with
the one with the scar across
Yeah,
his
so it's
head?
the scar.
Yeah,
I
I don't know what his name is.
Fuck. I'll
I can't
pull it
remember
up.
his
Gato.
Gato, thank you. I kept thinking we were gonna get like more of kind of like his backstory, but we didn't.
I mean, you kind of get that in the movie.
You kind of get it in the movie, very little,
yeah.
but I think I just assume that he's gonna be like continue to be like one of the main big bads. So that's
Yeah,
why
kind of what my guess is. The blue-haired one's gonna die, and then Gato's gonna take over, I guess.
Well, I
is
thought
my guess
Gato
for it.
was like the main like mafia boss kind of.
Yeah, but he's
thing. And
more
the-
using the blue-haired one for now to like kind of do his
As, like, a
bidding.
surrogate.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
you talking about Patchwork Dude, like
Yeah.
the zombie,
Yeah. Mhm.
the,
Yeah.
the human spirit.
Yeah.
That's my guess, at least, because I don't know. I didn't read. Or
I didn't
anything,
read
and I
either.
haven't seen spoilers, so just
Um,
that Chainsaw Man
yeah, the-
spoiler.
But yeah, the patchwork
Still
guy,
can't believe it's the only
I
one.
really liked him. I kind of wish he came back more in like the second half of the show
Mhm.
after like things conclude with Junpei. I was like, oh, I just
Yeah.
Realistically,
because after
if
that
I was-
we just see him like lounging at the beach.
Yeah, literally playing board games.
Yeah,
if I was Nanami, I would have just went after him. Like he was like, dude, he's one hit. Somebody go find him. Like, we just fucking ripped that shit open and went after him. Like,
Yeah.
whatever. Yuji's probably fine. There's somebody out there that'll get to him. Like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, Nanami did say that. He was like, go get him.
yeah, somebody else.
But
I was like,
nobody found him.
yeah. But like that moment when he gets his what the fuck's it called? Something domain.
Domain expansion.
Yeah, where like he gets his fucking domain, all the
It's
hands.
oh my
and-
god, that looks so cool.
And
Also,
in that moment where like Nanami's like, well, that's it. I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Like,
I also really like that, and this makes a lot of sense when Yuji breaks through it, and because like Nanami's there, like everything is touching my soul technically because I'm like everything is his hands.
because
right?
everything in a domain always hits.
Right. So and then when like Yuji breaks through, and then it's Sukuna being like, "I told you you would not get a second chance to touch my soul, my dude."
Yeah.
Cut that shit out. I'm like, that's actually makes sense
And
within the logic of the show.
And
which
I liked the explanation of why he was able to get into.
Yeah.
Because he was like, the stronger the domain, basically, if your domain is an instant win,
right.
why are you gonna try to? Why
Why
are you
gonna
stopping
protect the
it? Yeah.
outside?
Like it doesn't matter.
There's no reason to.
Yeah. And it makes so much sense where he was like, even Gojo's, it's an instant win. So why does it matter?
I also really liked when we see Gojo's the first time, and the guy who's in it, like the volcano guy, I think it was.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't feel or see anything. He's like, no, I'm feeling and seeing everything. It's just so overwhelming.
It's his fucking domain was so rad.
He's so cool.
Gojo's fucking sick. Love Gojo. He's so cool. He also looks awesome. He's funny.
I just want one scene where Gojo's like, don't you dare make me put my hair down. Because whenever he's like, okay, now we're in like God tier mode, the hair comes down.
He's the next step of Kakashi.
Yes.
The one eye to no
yeah,
eyes.
to two eyes. 2 eyes covered.
I remember when it was first coming out, like I wasn't watching it, but everybody was talking about when they first showed his eyes. They were like, they spent the entire fucking budget like showing
feel
this
like they
man's
did.
eyes.
I feel like they did. It's like the whole fucking universe in there.
Yeah,
It's
literally.
so well done.
Yeah, Gojo is such an interesting character. Though.
When-
Like his power is so interesting.
It's so
where he's
cool.
like, oh, it's the infinite. Like technically, you are getting the closer you get to me, the further you get from me.
Yeah, and he's like explaining the space of infinity between each other.
Yeah,
like,
and he's like, you're never actually hitting me.
it's so cool. But I also feel like when this show first started coming out, I was like, everybody and their fucking mother was simping over Gojo.
Yes.
And I was
But
like,
he deserves it.
He does.
I mean,
Like,
he
deserves
Nanami,
it.
a lot of people simp over him, and I don't get that. Like, I'm just like...
I can get it from an aesthetic point of view. Like, I'm not
know.
like super into his character because I kind of wish he was more. Which I'm hoping we get more of him because I like him as like a secondary teacher.
I
role.
like that he's not more because I think it's a very interesting like juxtaposition to everything else.
Also, who's like the nervous like attendant with the glasses? I can't remember his
Oh,
name.
just the dude that like everybody makes fun of.
I think he's a very good like comedic relief character. He's just trying his best. I love
Really
him.
is.
He's trying his best and he sucks at it.
Yeah.
And like he just constantly gets belittled and he's like, oh.
He's like,
When that right before when that leads to the fight with Gojo using his like domain.
Right.
When he's like, hey, leave. And he's like, leave you here?
Is this a trick?
Is this a trick? Are you gonna hit me? And he's like, what? No, just leave.
just go.
And then he floors it and then he's like, that was just rude. You know what? He is gonna get hit later. But yeah, no, I just love Gojo's character. I think it's because usually that kind of carefree character I don't find super interesting. But I think it's like the perfect way to do an absolutely overpowered character.
Well, I think they balance his carefreeness very well with that. We have moments of him being like very observant. He's obviously not stupid. Like he's piecing things together. Like even though he seems like he's like just like being a slouch or just, you know, carefree or like la di da di da kind of thing. He's like taking everything in. He's just not revealing it to the audience or anybody else.
Yeah.
Just being like, okay, bit of information. I will collect that in my brain. And when that becomes like necessary for me to like exposit, I will. But for right now, I know this happened, but nobody else needs to.
And like just the small things where like, you know, when Yuji comes back and Maki's like, hey, where's my blade?
Yeah.
And it's just that little like chibi faces of where he's like, huh? And it's like, Maki, can I get your sword? Here. Yuji, here you go.
It's gone.
Gojo has it.
Yeah.
Like just the little shit of like he's absolutely very carefree but yet super smart.
Yeah.
Like again, I normally like cuz he is absolutely overpowered.
He's like God mode.
Yeah, and he knows it.
Yeah.
And like I think it's so interesting the way that they make that character cuz normally that would be so fucking annoying.
Well, I
but
think
it's
they do
not.
a good job of not having him
He doesn't do it too often.
be involved
Yeah.
enough where it would just make everything basically like pointless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if he was always there to kind of like help the team,
Yeah.
then there would be literally no point in anybody else being there. But like with the, what do they call it? Like the inter school like exchange battle or
Yeah.
whatever, when they have like the no gojo like domain.
Yeah.
The veil.
The veil where they're like no entry for you and only you.
Yeah.
Like I think that's a smart way to go about it, to make it so he can't be like owning literally everybody without even lifting a finger.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. And I think like, yeah, I think they find a really interesting, like, good balance for that
Yeah.
god tier character to like constantly kind of have him not be around and it makes sense, or not help. And then you have like, and then your main three I think are really interesting, where like Yuji, like the hand waviness of the fact that he is absolutely superhuman and just a regular person at the beginning, when he like takes the fucking shot put and breaks the world record like it was nothing.
Yeah.
And only reason it didn't go further was because he fucking impales it on a goddamn soccer post.
Yeah.
And then you got Megumi, who's just like
Megumi.
who's
Not
just
Megamine.
I
Yeah.
kept thinking Megamine too. I'm like, I know it's not.
Yeah, but because
Yeah.
you're just used to it.
It's,
so
I
just
really
goes in your
like
head.
that's every time I'm like Megamine. Yeah, sure, why
Yeah.
not?
Megumi, who is like your like stereotypical like aloof character,
Like
but like
edgy boy.
yeah,
like,
but like very interesting character, and his like fighting style and everything is very like cool.
I also like that they don't go with like the edgy boy rival.
No, because he
Yuji.
immediately is like, he cares about.
Towards the end, he was like, he did the classic "I'm gonna surpass you."
Right, but it's not in a I'm gonna surpass you because like I have disdain for you.
Yeah, he likes
Like,
him, but he's still like, "I'm gonna surpass you."
Yeah, but you got it. It's shonen, right?
Mhm.
But I think it's like more in like a
Like, he shows he cares about him, like, basically from the start.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, Gojo, you should save this guy. And he's like, coming from you? All right, sure, I'll make it work.
Yeah.
And that he does feel like for Yuji when he passes, and then you have the girl Nobara, who like I kind of dislike, but also kind of don't at the same time.
Her?
I just liked how they
she has a very-
introduced her character.
Yeah, like I have a very like interesting like I like her and don't. Like when she first shows up, I don't really like her, but then she has like those moments, and then they keep kind of building. And I think it comes to a point during the school fighting event where she's like talking to that girl who's like, the girls must be perfect. Like,
oh, Momo.
yeah, and
the
she's
witch.
like, fuck that bullshit.
Yeah.
I like looking pretty. I like wearing what I like to wear. I like spending money on whatever the fuck clothes I want, and I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want to do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, nice. Like, I like it. And I think her power is very interesting.
Yeah,
I like her power a lot. That's like one thing too is
And then she just takes out the fucking squeaky hammer.
I thought that was so funny. She's like, if I hit her with my real hammer, she'll die. Squeaky hammer.
Yeah.
She's fucking beating this shit.
But then she gets fucking shot
She
because
sure does.
she showed weakness.
But
And so
just-
the other girl just fucking shot her.
Yeah.
And then you got Best Girl Maki, who fucking catches a bullet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, I shouldn't do that with my bare hands.
Yeah.
Like, oh, casual.
Fucking-
Yeah, her hand wasn't even like marked or anything.
No, but she was like, that's a bad habit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like, Maki is so fucking cool.
Yeah.
And I love like the fact that like everybody underestimates her, and they're like, and then the teachers are like, you should really just make her fucking grade 1 or grade 2 already.
Yeah.
And Gojo's
Yeah.
like, I would if the fucking whatever the fuck
Zenin
Zenin
clan.
clan wasn't a fucking assholes.
yeah, if they would let me, she absolutely would be.
And she's just so cool. Like, I
the
love the
sister
fact that
is
she has
also a grade 4, right?
her sister sucks.
I don't remember what
is
grade
the
she
whatever
is.
she is, because
Yeah.
she doesn't even want to do it. She only is doing it because Maki left.
I felt
and she's
so bad
forced
for
to
her
it.
when she was explaining though, when she was
Right?
saying the whole thing, and then Maki has no remorse, and she's
Well, no, 'cause
like, "I'll
Maki's
never
like-
leave you," and she's like, "Liar," and
Yeah.
Maki's already
Oh my
gone.
god,
But-
when
She's
that
like-
happened, that scene of like, I'll never leave you, I was like, Jack, I'll never let go. Bye.
But like also right before that, like she gives that whole speech and she's like, "Why did you do it?" And Maki's like, "I had to. Like I was
Yeah.
following what I wanted to do. I'm sorry that hurt you, but I couldn't. There was no other option."
She was
for
like,
me."
I had to do it to like not hate my life and existence.
Yeah, and like it sucks that it brought her sister into it, but she needed to do what she had to do.
Yeah.
And also like her sister's just kind of lame. So like I was glad. I was like,
fucking name.
Mai.
Mai.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I feel like when they introduce Mai with Toto, like you would think that she's gonna be more,
Yeah.
but she's kind of not. Like it's weird.
I mean, she kind of seemed like she was until she broke down with Maki. I feel like she gave that appearance, and then that's when you actually found out,
That's true.
you know, about her
Yeah.
character and that she doesn't even want to be doing this.
she can create matter out of literally nothing, though.
Yeah,
So like,
so that's pretty chill.
if I were her, I'd just be fucking making.
But she can only
gold.
make
She only
one
do
bullet a day.
one bullet.
Make some fucking one golden bullet a day and sell that shit, and over the course of a few years, you're loaded.
I guess.
Like I'm just saying, over a year, if you just spend one day making a golden bullet every day, you got 365 golden bullets. That's worth something.
I guess so.
You melt them all down, put them into a fucking big ass gold bar, and like, hey, you're good.
But also during that like inter-school fighting thing, something that I personally found like enjoyable but also funny is every fight pair off. There was times where they're just like, all right, now we're gonna have this nice conversation.
Well, and I think it's funny or interesting too. Like, once the enemies were introduced during that fight, that each person basically has that moment of like they were holding back on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, because Megumi does something to the fucking tree person, and whatever the fuck the dude's name is.
With the bow and arrow.
Yeah, is like, motherfucker, what?
Yeah.
Like, where was that when we were fighting? And then bow and arrow dude, or blood magic dude, does something. And he's
Yeah.
like, he was fucking holding back, that piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, and I like
Kamo, the blood guy.
yeah. And that they like all had points where they were like holding back.
Yeah.
And then except for Panda. Panda rules. Panda fucking
Panda
wrecked that
never
guy.
holds back.
Panda was rad. The fucking like I love Panda. Panda's great. He's just there for moral support and
Yeah.
also to fucking murder people.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, I like when like the actual villains show up. Like the Kyoto school is like, oh, we got some like really huge issue to deal with here. Like we can't be fighting the like Tokyo school.
Yeah, basically
like,
immediately.
fuck trying to kill like Yuji. We got a way bigger problem on our hand right
Yeah,
now.
literally immediately they all just like, nope, we're gonna fight these people now.
I also really like the way they balance Toge's power, because like you would think if he can just say a word, right? Like that would be OP as
He's
fuck.
so fucking cool.
I love him. He's so cool.
Inumaki is rad.
He's so cool.
Kelp.
Kelp.
Rice balls. Like salmon. I think like he's so cool. And I love like how much they hype up his power too.
Yeah.
And then once he finally starts like using it, it almost immediately is like the guy's like he's already at his limit. Like shit. Like he had the moments where he had like 5 stops within him to
Right.
stop this special grade monster.
Right.
And they were like, fuck, that would have destroyed me if he used it on me. He only has 5 on this special grade. And they're like, shit.
Yeah.
Like, he's so cool, and yet they use him just enough to realize how powerful he is without overusing it.
Yeah, I think that's one thing is like this show has an excellent way of like balancing out power dynamics, because everyone is fairly strong except for poor Miwa.
Useless Miwa here.
Useless.
Her power is so cool, too, though. Like, the preliminary domain that she can create, like a simple domain, and anything that enters it, she just fucking swords. And then once she loses her sword, she's pointless.
But it's also it didn't even work.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because she used it for Yuji, and she was like, even though like she said she hesitated slightly because
Right.
she didn't want to kill him.
Right.
But then she was like, even with my hesitation though. But also Yuji's fucking superhuman.
Yeah.
And then she goes to use it again, and Maki's like,
Is it
break staff, throw it at her.
Isn't Maki also like superhuman but just a person?
Yes.
Yeah.
Maki is basically the exact same as Yuji, but Yuji got powers because he swallowed a fucking finger.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're basically the same, except technically, I think they said that Yuji would still beat them.
No, yeah, they were saying
yeah, because
that.
Megumi was like, when they were like, so what's the deal with Yuji when he came back? And he was like, if none of us were using cursed techniques, I have no doubt he would destroy
Yeah, he
all
would
of
like
us.
beat the shit out of us.
So he's even better than Maki.
Yeah.
But so it's interesting because like Maki is basically the complete inverse of the guy that controls the robots.
Yeah.
Where she has incredible superhuman strength and whatnot, but zero cursed abilities. Where he has fucking
all
off the
cursed
charts.
abilities, like barely a human body.
Absolutely would rather be Maki.
But also, like, so the guy, the actual person, like, in the tub with, like, all the, like, stuff going into the tub, he has his whole, like, paper skin, glass bones moment, right? But I'm like, where the fuck are you?
Well,
you're just
not
not
supposed to
point.
know.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Like, also, how did you get there? Maybe you just have really good distance. You never left your school, like your house.
I assume he's in like his house.
I
That's what I'm getting from him.
Yeah.
But like maybe not. Maybe they'll explain that more
like his
later.
power is that strong that he just can do it from whatever distance.
He's not bringing the tub with him wherever he's going. Like I have to think that he's in one central location always.
I also think when they have like after the first round of like them fighting each other and they're like, okay, time to pick the second round, and it's the baseball game and they have him as a pitching machine, they're like, hey, that's not fair. He's like, no, it's the guy, this is the only thing he can do, so he has to be the pitcher.
When they were just like giving him random tasks and he's like, I'm not just your fucking errand boy, and they're all like, and all of them are like, yeah, but we don't want to do it, and he's like, well, I guess at least I'm reliable to them. And you're just like, ooh, sad.
Poor thing.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think it's such a strong show.
Yeah. I didn't think it like droned on at all.
No.
And I didn't.
So watchable.
Yeah. Like I think the pacing was great.
Yeah.
Like you can, I feel, because you know you watch some shows where it's like one 24-minute episode, you're like, a whole hour has gone by and it's only been 24 minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
This, like, I feel like each episode only feels like 10 minutes. Like I can just plow through it. It's
there was like a lot of the times that like the outro would come up and I'm like, oh, already?
I'm like, that was extremely quick. What the hell? Like, why is it over already?
And I think all of the end credit little scenes were also just very fun.
Yeah, I think they do a good job with those. Sorry, I kicked her foot.
Oh. Yeah, I think they do a very good job of those two, and I think it's overall just really strong. I think the character writing's great, and the pacing at which they tell the story is very good.
Yeah, they have. I think for a first season, like I don't know how many seasons the show is gonna go for, but for
the manga's still going. So
for a first season, I think they do such a good job establishing literally every character you're supposed to care about.
Right.
Even like the secondary and tertiary characters, where like I feel like typically in like older shonens they would just kind of like be there and like assigned a trope and then like whatever, ride with it. But I think they do such a good job establishing everybody, and you have a reason to care about everybody, even if they're a villain. Yeah. Which I think they do excellent job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Do we
want to talk about the movie?
Yeah. Do we want to?
Should we do a rating and then the movie, or do we want to talk about the movie and then we can do rating for each one?
I guess
rating then the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably rating. The
okay,
movie.
rating then the movie.
Yeah, start
Me?
with yeah.
I really like the show. I'm glad that I finally did it, and then there's another show off my list for you.
Just gonna start picking shows from your fucking list.
But yeah, I thought this was a really good show. I think the pacing's great. I'm not bored. It's actually a show I like versus the many shows.
I feel like this is the first show Kat's liked in like a long time.
I think it's the first show that she's actually like genuinely liked too, completely.
Yeah, not even like pity like.
Yeah.
I don't think I've genuinely liked like a show since we watched Love is War. I want to say that was the last one. Colin was still here. Anthony was still here. It was a whole pack. I think we were in Colin's basement, right?
We were.
Yeah. Maybe there's a show and I'm just forgetting. But I love that show. So
can't wait for fucking season 4.
Yeah, the movie is coming out.
Oh, right, the movie,
in February. But anyways, that's separate.
Speaking of which, we're going to the same fucking quintuplets movie.
Oh, yeah. It comes out on Friday. And so I bought tickets the second it came out. It gave me like a notification. And so I just bought tickets. And then there's only one showing per day at the theater. So Mike and Kieran are going to also be there. So
we're literally sitting right behind you two.
That's so funny.
And, and there was no one next to you. Me and Kieran were like, should we just sit next to them just to make it?
You should have. I wouldn't have cared.
I didn't know where you were, though.
You could have asked.
Well, we could just sit next to you anyway.
Well, that's not if people didn't buy tickets.
Who's gonna fucking buy
Don't
tickets
be
to?
that person who doesn't sit in their assigned seat.
Yeah.
I'll look at the seats, and if it's fine, it's fine.
Okay.
We made a joke that we were like, we should just get there early and sit in your seats. So you have to sit like across, so you can sit next to each
Why
other.
wouldn't we just sit in your seats?
Because it was funnier that way.
Okay.
Anyway.
But yeah, separate. I would give it. I would want to give it an 8.5, but I'll go 9 since there's no halvesies.
Wow.
Wow.
I think that is her second highest.
I'm
Yeah,
genuinely
and,
shocked. Wait, what
it's
did you give it
definitely-
I
10?
think
Anything?
she gave.
I gave Love is War a 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I think it's
Besides her
it's
own
closer
shows.
to yeah, well, those don't count. I think it's definitely closer to 9 than 8.
Gotcha.
So I'll go to 9. That's it.
Yeah, I love this show. I think it's really strong. I originally rated it an 8. And I feel like it's probably a 9 for me. But like I'm like weirdly on the fence about whether it's an 8 or 9. But I think for this I will say it's also a 9. And it's just so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like the fights, the characters, the fact that there's a goddamn attack name called Boogie Woogie. And it just the like idea behind it and the way everything about that goes. I think it's really, really strong. I do remember thinking the ending was kind of like a sudden.
Yeah, a little bit.
And I think that's why I originally rated it an 8, because I was like, it's just over. Oh, okay. But you know, I don't know. I think it's just overall it's very good. I would give it a 9. Definitely say watch it.
Yeah. I think I would also give it a 9. I think this is an excellent opening season for a show that's going to have multiple seasons. They do such a good job establishing everybody. And I think everybody gets a chance to stand out as well. I don't think really any one character kind of falls to the wayside.
Even when the character is useless, they still get it.
Yeah, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like everybody
They get it at least through comedy.
Yeah, like everybody I think is very memorable, and they balance like the story out so well that it's just excellent writing.
Yeah.
And the visuals are again excellent. The fight choreography is so good, it's ridiculous. And I just really appreciate how creative everything is. I think sometimes with shonens things feel a little stale because a lot of it is like very trope heavy, so you can only do so much. But I think they do a really good job of not sticking to tropes, or rather they're obviously using tropes, but they are tweaking them in such a way that feels like nice and fresh kind of a thing.
And I will say it's very refreshing not to get the like usual here's the girl that will probably be the date. Like
Yeah.
the love interest.
Yeah.
You don't really get that at all.
No, you don't get it at all, which I really like. So yeah, definitely give it a 9. Definitely would recommend it. I'm really glad I made us watch it so I could watch it finally.
Yeah.
Because I've been meaning to get around to it. So like just being forced to sit down and actually consume it and pay attention was excellent.
Cool.
Cool.
With that, we're gonna just talk about the movie for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, not necessarily very long, but just go over what we thought. So this obviously is going to be spoilers too, and then we can give our rating for that. If you haven't seen the movie, then, you know, thanks for watching. See you guys next week. And whatever Kat's picking.
Oh, fuck, I'm next.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Hold on.
All right,
boy.
Mike and I will talk about the movie in the meantime while Kat figures
Okay.
out her
I'll put it on. I'll put
her
it on the
choice.
screen for people that might be leaving now.
Yeah, if you want to leave now, it's on the screen. If you're staying, we'll say it again at the end.
And for audio listeners, I'll just put a voiceover right here.
The anime chivalry of a failed knight.
Yeah, the movie was so fucking good.
Absolutely
oh my God.
incredible.
Yeah.
Absolute banger of a movie. It looked like, I know I said this at the opening of the episode, it just looked so freaking good. Like, it just goes so fucking hard
When did
from
you watch
start to
it?
finish. The movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday.
Oh, okay. Just curious.
You saw it when it came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same.
So I actually saw it before I
actually
finished the show.
didn't
And you
even
didn't
know
even
that
need to.
the movie, I didn't know that it had a movie, actually.
Yeah, I think you asked us whether you could see it, didn't you? Because
Probably.
yeah, and we were like, it's prequel. Go ahead. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Um,
Because you get some more of Gato's story in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also like that it's Class 2's first year, like it's a prequel essentially.
Yeah.
I just think it's a really well contained story. It's just so good from like I can't handle it.
Yeah, there's honestly like not really much at all that I would say is bad about it. I don't think it's a perfect 10 for me, at least.
I think my only true complaint is at the opening of the movie I have like in the first like maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I think there's a very slight pacing issue, and I think that's primarily to how they chose to cut it together. But other than that, I think it's really well done. I just think they could have spent either in the first like 30 minutes, they could have shown better like the passage of time.
Okay.
If that makes sense, because it starts off with him like being bullied, right?
Right. Like a loser.
Like a loser. And then he is being enrolled into Jujutsu High. And then we're meeting the first years, right? And then he's like training with Maki. And in the perspective of the movie, how they chose to put it together, it's like, okay, this has been like a week, right? But then the next scene, Panda's like, oh, he's been here 3 months. And then the next scene, he's like, and maybe like 2 scenes later, they're like, wow, he's really come a long way in just under a year. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I actually did, because I don't remember the movie like too many specifics, obviously, because whenever it came out, because I saw it in theaters. But now that you say that, I actually do remember like being confused on that.
It came out at
Last
least in
year,
Japan on Christmas Eve.
Oh, so it's probably January.
For us, it was March.
Oh,
or at least I saw it in theaters, so I'm going to assume it was the end of March because I have it dated as March 22nd,
Gotcha.
2022. So.
But yeah, so that's the only real thing that like was kind of bothering me was just the very weird pacing at the beginning.
Right.
But after, even like with that, I think it's really well done. And then after that weird pacing, it flows a lot better in my opinion. Where things feel like more of a natural progression where they make sense timeline wise.
Right.
So that's my only real complaint is the pacing at the beginning.
Kat?
I like the movie a lot. I saw it before. I saw it when I was like halfway through the show. And then I just watched it. And I liked it. I didn't think that there was any issues. Maybe now if I watched it now with... Well, no, because you watched the show and then you watched the movie.
Right.
Because I was going to say maybe then I'd have issues, but I definitely didn't back then.
Well, I feel like the movie is pretty unrelated to the show. Where
but like character-wise, because there is reoccurring characters in it, so...
But I think they do a good enough job, very fast-paced, because when he joins Jujutsu High, they just do like a quick roll call of like, this is what each person does.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they go a little bit deeper into like Maki and like her whole thing of not having like spirit energy.
Yeah, the three of them like kind of get their ass handed to them, don't they?
Kind of, yeah.
Like they put up a bit of a fight, but then ultimately it just ends up being the main character to finish off the fight.
I feel like Toge holds up pretty good, and then once he goes down, then it's a total shit show. Like Maki gets fucking annihilated right away.
Yeah. I think like overall the choreography and like the animation through those, like especially through those final fights, is immaculate.
It's so good.
And I love his curse, like, because it's not
Rika.
because it did stem from him, right?
He cursed her when she was
dying.
But unknowingly.
Yes.
Correct.
And then
he thought that she cursed him.
Right. And then, but like he tries to like fix that, right? And she's like, "No, I'm here." Right? If I'm remembering correctly.
What do you mean?
Like at the end when he finally realizes what happened, that he's like, "Oh, like I did it." And
he's like, "It's my fault," and she's like, I can't remember what she says. Something like,
"You just saw it yesterday."
I know. I can't even remember what this bitch said at the end.
Well, because she basically says like, I want to stick around anyway, right?
But
like,
doesn't she not?
I think. Does she leave or not? I don't remember.
Yeah, she fucking turns into like fairy dust.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like she was like, like basically that she wasn't upset about it.
She was saying it's not his fault.
Yeah,
essentially.
like
Yeah.
that she was happy she got to spend more time with him.
Yeah, and then she was like, "But don't meet me on the other side anytime soon."
Yes.
And then she turns into fairy dust, and then Gojo in like, it cuts, and then it's another scene, and Gojo's like, Gato was gonna attack anyway, regardless if you were here. So
Right.
like, it's not your fault that like the school got attacked or anybody else got fucked up. You know what I mean?
So, but like, and then they still talk about him like he's fucking insanely like amazing, but yet he doesn't have Rika anymore. So I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
He doesn't have Rika, but I feel like in the time, isn't it like implied that he's also learning to like use spirit energy?
yeah, but he's still talked about as the strongest one of them.
So maybe
Did
he
they
is
talk
still-
about where he is?
Yeah, they just say that he's abroad,
No.
but in
studying
the
abroad, and then
in the movie he's in like Africa, isn't he?
Yeah, in the like
Because it time jumps to like current day.
after credits scene, he's in like Africa with Miguel, who's like the rope hair attacker guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I stayed to watch that. I don't remember him
But
being in
they're like
Africa.
eating food together, and then and they're having like a pretty chill ass conversation. And I was like, wait, weren't you like part of the bad guys? I'm confused. And then Gojo shows up, and he's like, oh hey, what's happening?
Yeah.
And then it like cuts to black.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to rewatch it.
But yeah, I don't know. Overall, I think it's a really, really fucking strong movie.
They also have a really good soundtrack.
It
oh,
does.
the sound. Okay, the soundtrack is really good, except for that opening song was absolutely ridiculous. And I thought the song when he was fighting Gato. I was like, some of these lyrics are just so on the nose, I can't handle it. Like I was listening because they were in English, so I was listening to like the lyrics, and I was like, this is. I don't know if it was like a translation thing, if it was a Japanese song that
Right.
they chose to like translate into English for the English dub, but it's so spot on, especially for like the movie and the core theme
Right.
and what's happening on the screen. That I was like, this can't be what you really wanted here. This can't be what you meant.
It probably was.
Probably was.
It probably is what they asked for.
Well, I feel like it's the same like when with Dragon Ball Super's movie when you have like just the chanting of people going like Broly, go Broly, like that shit.
I feel like it was watching like you remember like the first few Pokemon movies where they would have really on the nose songs in the movies. It felt like that, and I was like, this is a little weird and
yeah, but that
jarring.
Lugia theme slaps.
That Lugia theme is so good.
But yeah, no, I think that movie's fucking great. I feel like there's not much else to really say about it. I think it does all the characters very well and
Same.
like interestingly, and I think it shows a nice way of what they were like before they became the second years.
I also
Yeah.
think it's good that if in season 2 they do have Yuta come back, it's a good way to like have him come back without having to be like, here's 5 fucking episodes of like his backstory kind of a thing.
Yeah, unless they do that anyway, because apparently anime studios are just being like, fuck it, we'll do the movies again in a whole arc,
God damn it.
which I hate. Like, if you're just gonna do a movie, just do the movie and then skip to the arc after.
Yeah,
Like-
I don't know why Demon Slayer did that, and I also don't know why I sat there and watched it all.
I did.
I was worried
It's
that
the reason
something
I
extra was gonna happen.
It's the reason
Like-
I didn't go back. All right, so I can skip that.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
They didn't add anything.
It's so little if they did that I can't even tell.
Literally,
I don't know.
The reason I didn't even watch season 2 of Demon Slayer was because like they're just like I knew there was more, but it just like I didn't start
I
it.
watched
so-
it because it was airing, so I was like, I might as well because
Right.
it's not too much. But now I honestly think you could just skip it.
Like,
It's not
because
important.
Demon Slayer did it, Dragon Ball did it. Dragon Ball did it for 2 of its movies.
Are they just doing it for like so they can have an arc but like super high
like,
quality movie budget?
What's
No,
the
because it's not.
fucking
Because they
point?
redo it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's stupid.
Like Dragon Ball Super, they redid it. It's worse. They are worse stories. They are actively awful. People say watch the movies and then skip to the 3rd arc. Like,
Why?
because they are actively worse.
So they're just wasting money on
Yes.
retelling the story
Yeah.
worse?
Yes.
Literally.
Absolutely. For Demon Slayer, I don't know. Apparently, if it's the same, then it's probably just as good. But
That seems like a bad financial move.
I watched the movie like months prior to watching it. But when I was watching it, it felt like nothing felt like new information.
Right.
So if there is something that's different, it's so little that you'll be okay.
Right,
or maybe you
I'll
should just
skip it.
Google like an article
Yeah.
to see if there's anything that somebody needs to point out.
Right. All right.
So,
Well,
I don't know.
I guess do we want to just rate the movie and then?
Yeah, I could do a quick rating.
I will also give the movie a 9.
Okay. I think I'd give the movie 8.
I would also give the movie an 8. There was just a couple of things I had problems with that just keeps it from being like really, really good.
I definitely recommend it though.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think
You don't
it's
even have to watch the show to watch it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, you can watch it completely standalone and you would understand everything because they just kind of like do very quick laying it out
Yeah.
information. But there was just a couple of things where I was like, this brings it down just a hair.
Yeah, I would agree.
But if you're not thinking about it critically, I don't think
probably
you would
fine.
have that problem.
Yeah,
Right.
I definitely didn't watch it critically because I didn't think we would ever talk about it here. So 9.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I was just like observing it too closely, if that makes
Mhm.
sense. So that's the only thing that drops it to an 8 for me.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, hey. With that, Kat.
Okay.
What's your show?
So question for you guys.
Yeah.
Have you seen a show called Chivalry of a Failed Knight?
No.
That's the show.
Oh God.
It sounds like such
Is
a
this
not
like a
good
romance
show.
anime?
There is romance in it, but it's not a romance anime.
So it's not like a shoujo anime.
No. It's briefly because this is one of the first animes I've actually
Chivalry
seen.
of a Failed Knight.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
one of the first shows I ever watched actually. So I want to rewatch it. So
Wait, can I ask you a question? Is this like Future Diary, one of the first shows I watched where it's absolute garbage and horrible?
I don't think so, but I
Well,
also
you
don't
also
think
don't
that
think Future Diary is garbage
bad.
and horrible. Hold on, let me
It's
see.
not. It's not rated the worst.
Oh God.
It's got a 7.45.
Okay, like overall.
Yeah. Do you want to give a synopsis of if you
Um,
remember what the synopsis is?
Synopsis is there's this guy who ends up going to a magic school and he's like the lowest
Lowest
tier. Yeah,
Oh, it's
whatever.
only 12 episodes.
Yeah, lowest tier of what give us a nice break.
Oh yeah, because we just watched 2 long shows, right?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna go faster because it's just the 3 of us, so we're just gonna be hopping
Truth,
along.
Truth,
So,
truth.
Oh man, it's R.
R.
yeah, yeah.
Rated R.
Mhm.
I didn't even know
Um,
they rated anime. Like
I
that.
also didn't know, but
They
now that you're
technically
saying that,
do,
I'm like, yeah, okay.
Oh, so we're gonna see like real life titties.
No, it just says violence and profanity. It doesn't even say.
Oh,
There are
who
titties.
Fucking cares.
I don't
Oh wait,
think
no,
there's-
there it is. Genre's etchy. Wow, you're recommending an etchy show?
Holy
I didn't know it counted. As
Dude, this
ecchi.
world is
it's
fucking-
like etchy light. Like if you
Cat
don't think
likes
that
anime, and she's recommending etchy all in one episode.
Wow, the world's
Um,
ending.
But yeah, he's like the lowest tier, and it's about him getting
Can't believe
stronger
this.
and everything. Of
When
the
did
sort.
this come out?
I think
2015.
there you go.
This came out in 2015.
Sure did. It looks like an absolute.
Why are you looking at that?
show.
This
Spoilers.
is like 2008 shit.
It absolutely looks
To
like
be
a
fair,
fucking
I didn't know when the fuck
2000
it came
show.
out. I just watched it.
I can't believe Kat's recommending an etchy show.
I don't. It's etchy light.
Oh, dude, we're gonna see titties, and we're gonna be like, Kat recommended these
Kat,
titties.
Why are you doing this to
It's-
my eyes?
You made us watch Handshakers.
Yeah, that was an important life lesson.
No.
You
We-
gotta see the absolute bottom of the barrel before you can appreciate something
Yeah,
mediocre.
so what's
No.
happening here is that when you're watching this show, just know that these are Kat recommended titties. So, if they're low tier titties, it's Kat's
it's
fault.
not our fault.
Yeah.
We have excellent taste in titties, okay?
Yeah, like, look, High School DxD might be a trash show, but at least there's some top tier titty.
Top tier.
Oh my god.
So if there's low tier titty, it's Kat's fault.
Don't yell at us. Mike and I did not do this.
It's not bad.
But the titties might be bad.
The titties definitely aren't bad. I'll give you that at least, that the titties are not bad.
So yeah, hey.
Wait. I'm just
Oh.
reading the synopsis.
Synopsis?
Yeah, to see if there's anything else I should say. Oh yeah, their things are called blazers. Yeah.
This is Blazer
They
and Laser.
they study and train at a prestigious academy to become mage knights. Blah blah blah. But he's an F-rated blazer, and then where the titties come into.
Literally the synopsis.
I don't even want to do. I don't want to do that.
How? All right, hold on.
Don't. It's spoilers. I don't want to.
All right,
Don't.
fine. All right.
Sage will just get to experience it because you already read
That's
it.
absolutely gonna be the first episode.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think it's like 10 minutes in. I don't even know if it's 10 minutes
If these
in.
titties suck, we're gonna be.
They're
It's
not.
gonna be nothing but blaming
pretty
Kat about bad titty the entire episode.
I'm pretty sure I put Stella in my top waifus. I think I did.
You might
Could've.
have bad titty taste.
We'll see. I guess we'll talk about it next time.
All right.
All right, so you
one
have
day,
5
one
weeks.
day, I'm gonna recommend High School DxD.
Oh,
Just
And
make you
God.
watch it.
that's the day I quit. That's the
anyway.
day you drive this podcast apart.
Anyway, hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, leave a review, like, follow. Don't forget, so you have 5 weeks to watch a chivalry of a failed knight. Let us know what you think of the titty.
Just that, not the show.
No, just the titty. And we will see you guys next week for whatever the fuck we talk about.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, and don't forget to check out Kat at Moonstar on Twitch.
Yep.
All right. See ya.